And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Tuesday, February 28th, closing it out today. My name is Josh Engleman, here to break down a 10-game NBA slate for all of you. And I'm tired. I don't know why. Just woke up with no gas in the tank, metaphorically speaking, of course. Definitely need coffee. Definitely happy that yesterday's slate went away. Just kind of gross. I mean, that Pistons stuff was nonsense. You know, I had the Pistons that you pseudo needed. I was lighter on Wiseman. It didn't matter. All three stars. I got it in front of me right here. 11K Joel Embiid. 45 fantasy points. 4x. LaMelo Ball. 10,300. 33 fantasy points. 3.3x. Out for the year. Jason Tatum, 10,200, 36.5 fantasy points, 3.6x. There was actual ownership of 110, 140, like 150% aggregate total ownership. I don't know why I said that. Because it's 630, I said aggregate and total together. And all three of those guys were an absolute disaster. Just could not have gone any worse in that regard. Really bad. Really, really bad. What are you going to do? Great night to not want to play DFS. That's for sure. Yeah, Butler was good. Jimmy Butler goes for 58. Harden was good enough at 9,800. Julius Randle stunk. Bam stunk. Jalen Brunson stunk. If you want to even just work our way down to through the 8Ks. Just real gross. Real gross. Christopher, congratulations. I'm just ready to get past this slate. I don't know if I'm going to play tonight's slate. It's up in the air for right now. 10 games feels like a lot. I think we have 9 tomorrow. I do like the way that it's staggered, though. Getting 6 games done by 8 o'clock is kind of light work, so we'll see. It might end up being a Wednesday off day, but what I want to do is break down today's slate, see how it looks, and I want to drink my coffee more than anything else. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Dr. DFS, I hope some projecting will pick me up. I think it's, I don't know. I had a particularly hard workout yesterday. A lot of lower body volume stuff. You know, a 5x10 squat workout with a bunch of other stuff kind of takes it out of you. So luckily for me, unluckily for you, I don't have live content today other than this. When I'm done this, I'm going to record my contenders, my no house advantage video, my prize picks video, and then I'm done. That's just it for me. So let's get into it. First and foremost, coffee time. Cannot wait. I wish that I could I got the like pseudo karma points for waiting to drink my coffee with you guys. But cheers to you guys. It's that time. Rise and grind, everybody. Let's do it. It's so the best part of my day. All right, guys. Also, shout out to BetMGM, who we will talk about in a little bit. But signing up there, there's like 27 different products that we have for you that will help you out at BetMGM across Stokastic and ODDSSHOPPER. And 2, you can get a free month of Stokastic by signing up using the link in the description and depositing at least $10. So do that. We'll talk about them in a bit. Yeah, I know, John Cables. No more LaMelo. That's a proper injury. Sucks. Really sucks. Just got to get that dude out of Charlotte. Sorry, Charlotte. Anyway, it's game time, folks. Buckle up. Christopher, that's a really good point. I do like those 3 things, and I would probably have them in an order that most people wouldn't. If I had to FMK that one, It would be interesting. It would be interesting. Depends if we're using sex as a catch-all, if you catch my drift. Because if it's not a catch-all, then this is a very easy one. Oh man, that's funny to think about. Oh man, I wish if I were on a strategy show today, that would be a really fun discussion for Laffy. I'm gonna have to put a pin on that. Let me write that down. I don't want to miss it. I might make him talk. I might make him bring me on the show today. Where's my pen? There it is. FMK. Coffee. Sex. Drugs. Got it. That's good. I mean, we'll do my gimmick. We'll see where Laffy ends up playing. If sex is not a catch-all, if that is a literal term, oh man, it's easy. I'm going to marry coffee. I'm going to bang drugs, and I'm going to kill sex. That's how that's going to shake out. That's how that's going to shake out. Wow. I think that's where I land. Where do you guys land? Because you don't want to marry drugs, because we know what that means, and that's bad. And then I'd rather have coffee. Will there ever be a 3-man NBA show? I mean, yes and no. Look, if Adam and Laffy are hosting a deeper dive and I was like, hey, let's make this a 3-man show, it's a 3-man show. But like, none of us want to do extra work. That's really where we land. All right. We're 10 minutes in. We're going to be here for over an hour. I got at least a little bit more energy than I had before. Washington Wizards, 6.5-point dogs. In Atlanta, 233 total for the Wizards. We got a doubtful tag on Kristaps Porzingis. Monty Morris is also questionable. So let's get the zinger on out of there. We had no Porzingis, no Monty Morris this past Sunday as well. We are going to bump up Daniel Gafford's minutes. Makes some sense that okay, so I guess we're going to get Taj as like a bit of a backup center. And then I think that they just gave Anthony Gill a contract extension. I could be wrong. It's crazy that they have like Isaiah Todd and Vernon Carey, and these guys just don't play. It's so bizarre. We got 27 minutes out of Denny. I guess I got to give him a bit of a bump. Had any sort of blowout on Sunday? Sunday was the 26th. Washington got destroyed by Chicago. Holy hell. Okay, so Denny moved into the starting lineup. Blowout got him. So we're going to at least 29 there. I mean, we have to leave Monty Morris in, so I don't have much to change there. Bradley Beal played a ton. His minutes look to be trending up a little bit, so I'm going to give him one more. Kuzma can go to 36, that's for sure, and that'll allow me to go to 8 on Anthony Gill. I don't expect to like Washington here either way. Do got to grab rates, unfortunately. Kristaps Porzingis not being there certainly has to matter. So let's find out what Washington does when Kristaps Porzingis isn't on the floor. And then we'll see scenarios with Bradley Beal, Kyle Kuzma. Man, this Wizards team is really just not appealing. At least one of Bradley Beal or Kuzma on the floor. Porzingis off. Oh, maybe it would help if I set Porzingis to actually be off. Philip, good morning. Good morning. All right. Now we got it. Kuzma, bit of a usage bump here. Get him up to 29.5. Bradley Beal has only played 339 minutes with Porzingis off and potentially Kuzma on. 29% usage rate there as well. So those guys are pretty similar. Does anybody else become anything of interest? That's really where my assumption is no. Yeah, Rui had a 21% usage rate. Kendrick Nunn, I guess, gets a little bit of usage. But all told, it seems like everybody just sort of stays in place. Will Barton actually had a bunch of usage. He's no longer on the team. Yeah, S&P, I think they do. I mean, I think you're going 37 or 38 to Kuzma if Morris is also out. So they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If Morris is out, they only have 10 guys, and like 2 of them are Taj Gibson and Anthony Gill. You got to assume that they're going pretty big on Beal and Kuzma in that case. Don't have much else here to change though for Washington. The minutes will be interesting. I don't want to go too high on Beal just yet because they really haven't stretched him out this year. Now to Atlanta. Is there anything going on with Trae Young? Looks like John Collins is available. And let's not forget, new coach. I assume Quinn Snyder is coaching tonight. At least that's what makes the most sense to me. Atlanta doesn't even have an injury report. They literally have nobody. So that makes this pretty easy. Let's go ahead and get everybody in for what they normally do. So for Atlanta, because we had John Collins back on Sunday. He played 26 minutes. Interesting, at least. Interesting. Capella, a couple straight games with lesser minutes. Are they doing anything weird with these guys? Do I need to look this up? Atlanta, Capella, no fouls, didn't close. They closed with Okongwu. Okay. We need to have a real conversation about what Atlanta is doing with Onyeka Okongwu. And now, Clint Capella was minus 16, and Okongwu was smashing. So there's that. What about the game before that? What about the Friday game? That would have been the 24th. 24th, Atlanta wins by 17. Capella, 1 foul, 2 fouls, no fouls there. Did close, only played 21 minutes. Game was over, but even still missed out on a decent chunk of time. And that doesn't appear to have happened for any reason, especially because Okongwu was out there. Oh, they were smashing again in that time, but they just smashed in general. I'm going to go 26-22 here. They seem to be trying to get Okongwu a couple extra minutes. Now, for John Collins, I think we're going like 28 here, 29. Something pretty simple. We get DeAndre Hunter in for his 29 as well. The past games matter? No. I mean, yes and no. It does for these guys, I think. I can't imagine that Quinn Snyder's just coming in and being like, hey, Clint Capella, take a seat, old man. I can't imagine he's doing much. I think it'll matter more for the bench guys. Maybe Sadiq Bey. Like, how much can you really change? I don't know. We'll find out. Look, if the only way that it matters is if anything good looks good for Atlanta. Get Bogdanovich in for some minutes. Get Sadiq Bey in for... Okay, so Bey has been... Bay's getting some run. So that's a spot where, like, we have no idea if Quinn Snyder likes Sadiq Bey or not. But, like, does he like AJ Griffin or does he like Jalen Johnson? That's where it starts to get trickier. I think we're all right here. Rates don't have to change. I haven't made any changes there. So, shocked. I won't have a problem rostering DeJounte Murray. That hasn't been a take I've ever had on this before. But surprise, surprise, I won't have a problem rostering DeJounte Murray. I guess I'm going to take a minute away from Murray, actually. He's kind of just been well, they have been in these blowouts, too. We'll leave it at 35. I like Murray. I like Trae Young. They're both fine. You're not really going to Capella or Okongwu anyway. John Collins, 4,700. Like, it's Murray and it's Young, and that's it. And on the Wizards end, look, $4,500 Daniel Gafford is going to be popular today. As popular as like a center can be, but he's just underpriced with no Porzingis. I know everybody's got like a semi-hard on for Taj Gibson whenever he's around, but it's Daniel Gafford here, it's Kuzma, and then it's Beal. And I think you can make a case that Beal and Kuzma could look even better than this by the time we get to lock. Remember, 10-game slate, so we don't actually have to dig into all of the garbage and true trash at the bottom. Bucks, 5.5-point favorites in Brooklyn, 227 total. For Milwaukee, everybody's available except for Wes Matthews, so I guess that's a good way to say that everybody's available. Man, oh man. I wish that I could drink coffee all day, every day. Love it. All right, let's get the Milwaukee rotation done. This one will be pretty quick. We just have to get Pat Connaughton back out there. So we're going to get Drew in for 33. Do I have any insight as to what happened with Willie Hernangomez? Yeah, it's the Pelicans. They do this shit all the time. No part of me is shocked. Yeah, if Morris is out, DeLon Wright is just going to look a lot better, or you're bumping up Kendrick Nunn. It's the kind of stuff that like we can't dig into right now. But yeah, if we look at Washington quickly, DeLon Wright 40. Oh, DeLon Wright 4,500 actually. I mean, he needs to start to look. It won't even matter. He won't look all that great even if he starts. You've got a better chance of liking someone like Kendrick Nunn, but it appears like Jordan Goodwin will just get minutes. I don't think Morris's status will matter all that much. It'll matter more for Kuzma and Beal, honestly. Alrighty. Milwaukee. Wait, am I misremembering this team right now? I feel oddly dumb. Don't say anything, chat. All right, so for Milwaukee, Pat Connaughton's going back into the starting lineup for Javon Carter, right? Yeah, I'm not even messing around here. So we get Connaughton, or is Connaughton limited in some way? Does anybody know if Pat Connaughton's limited? I don't have a great feel here. I feel like Pat Connaughton might be limited. So Sunday he played 12 minutes. Milwaukee. None of this should matter. That's the real problem here. I care about the worst stuff. So Pat Connaughton was the last guy off the bench, played 12 minutes. I don't think they're long for that. I'm going to say that he plays 24 today and that it doesn't really make a difference. We also go ahead and get They have so many bodies now. That's actually the real problem here. Christopher, I don't need you to quote my own source documents for me. Yeah, I don't see anything on Basketball Monster either. That's why I'm asking the question. If I saw it on Basketball Monster, that would be my trigger. 31 minutes for Brook Lopez. Got 5 minutes out of Myers Leonard in the last game. That was actually on purpose, too. So I'm going to assume that he does it again. And then we get Portis in for 22. We get Giannis in for who the hell knows? I mean, this guy's just barely played as of late. I mean, I assume when Giannis plays, he's Giannis. Jay Crowder got up to 24 minutes on Sunday, but that was with no Giannis. Let's assume that he gets like 20 here. We also then do about 20 to Joe Ingles. This team's getting a lot deeper. I don't love everything that they've got. We go Middleton, 25 minutes, 26 minutes. And then Javon Carter for at least 15. Am I missing somebody? Oh, never gave Grayson Allen any minutes. That's not going to work out the way that you wanted to. 26 for Grayson Allen. So all right. Myers Leonard's definitely not playing, and I got to free up 10 minutes from somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got to clean out 10 minutes on these guys somewhere. I don't think it's going to be Connaughton. Look, it's not going to be Brook Lopez. It's not going to be Giannis. It's not going to be Drew. That part's easy. But they can rotate through just about everything here. It's not going to be Middleton either. So, yeah, maybe Pat Connaughton really is playing a lot less. Man, where in the world do these minutes come from? Go down to 18 on Ingles. We are like aggressively not going to be playing the Milwaukee Bucks in this one, other than, potentially Giannis. Let's look at Brooklyn. Milwaukee just all of a sudden now has, let's see, Drew is 1, Brook Lopez is 2, Giannis is 3, Middleton is 4. So Crowder, Portis, Carter, Ingles, Connaughton, Allen. They're creating a very nice little rotation where there's going to be some series where you got to go to more Ingles. There's going to be a series where you got to go to more Grayson Allen. Their depth is coming around, even though it is late. For Brooklyn, everybody is healthy except for Ben Simmons. That's easy enough to deal with. We've got a very condensed rotation, including basically not playing Joe Harris and Seth Curry in the most recent game. As I look at that Sunday rotation against Atlanta, yeah, I mean, Seth Curry played in the second quarter, never saw it again. Joe Harris played in the second quarter, never saw it again. That could be interesting. I'm going to stick with 34 minutes to Dinwiddie. I don't think that they're going to just immediately remove Joe Harris and Seth Curry from this rotation. That feels bizarre to me. I'm going to keep the 28. We'll go 29 minutes to Nick Claxton. So they're just going small. They're going who backup center? Claxton came off. I mean, whoever you want to call out of Cam Johnson. I mean, they were running a lineup for multiple minutes of Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Cam Thomas. That's wild. Seth Curry, Royce O'Neal, Cam Thomas, Mikal Bridges, Dorian Finney-Smith. So Dorian Finney-Smith is the backup center now, apparently. I mean, this is nuts. Let's get Dorian Finney-Smith up to 30. Let's just gut everything here and think about it as we build it out. It's probably not going to matter either. So I'm going to stick with 34 on Dinwiddie, 29 to Claxton, 30 to Dorian Finney-Smith. We need to go what, 33? I don't want to over project to start. I want to see where we end up, because I do want to give Harrison Curry in particular, unless he's just that hurt. We got 33 in there for Bridges. Cam Johnson's minutes have been ramped up now. That's one where I've been saying that for a while, that I expected it, and now it's finally here. I'm going to give him 31. This all feels very arbitrary. Should Cam Johnson and Dorian Finney-Smith be playing different minutes? Probably not. Go 32 to Dorian Finney-Smith, 31 to Cam Johnson, or 31 and 31 rather. 33 for Mikal Bridges just seems about right. He's always going to be a little bit higher than those guys. Royce O'Neal is going to go in for about 21, 22. Cam Thomas has played 29 in the last two. Let's go to 28 there. That would leave me 33 minutes for Joe Harris and Seth Curry. Now, I'm not going to do that, but at the same time, they're not going to run a 7-man rotation. So I do think that we're going to get a little bit more out of Seth Curry. I'm going to say that Seth Curry goes in for 14. And I'm going to say that Joe Harris also goes in for 14. And that puts me in a scenario where I only need 5 more minutes. That, I think, is more realistic. You can't just... They're not going to go to 7. That's just not going to happen like that. So, at that point, let's move those 5 minutes over there. We got the 16. Bridges puts 18 there. And now I have these 5 extra minutes where I can't give them to Curry or Harris at this point. Cam Thomas at 28 is about where we need to go. 33 for Bridges, I think, just becomes 35. Can't go higher on Claxton. I'm going to go to 32 on Cam Johnson, 32 on Dorian Finney-Smith. And then we're going to say one random minute goes to Day'Ron Sharpe, so I don't have to pay attention to anything. That's Brooklyn. And Brooklyn matters. Brooklyn actually matters. Wow, it's 7 o'clock already? I'm taking that long to do this shit? You guys got to yell at me when I'm too slow. Cam Thomas for 5K is a very interesting option for today. Cam Johnson at 5,200, I don't mind. Dinwiddie looks okay. Nick Claxton looks okay. I mean, you kind of got to get to Brooklyn here. This game being at home for them is big. For Milwaukee, unplayable. If you want to roster Giannis, by all means, roster Giannis. I would imagine I would not have a single share of him tonight. The Brooklyn side of this one looks so much better. Gross. 2 games in, half hour into this show, I'm moving at a snail's pace. I might have to put this coffee in an IV. It's light already. I'm chugging this, and it's not doing anything. Chicago Bulls, 4.5-point dogs in Toronto, 220 total. Can't imagine we like much here. No Javonte Green, no Goran Dragic. Not a lot here that we probably have to worry about. Derek Jones, not in the rotation any longer. We're getting Levine. Actually, this is a rotation I do want to scratch because I haven't projected them since Friday morning before we knew that like Beverly had been starting. So we're getting Beverly in the starting lineup. I think 26 minutes makes some sense there. We're getting Caruso in the starting lineup. I think 26 minutes makes sense there. Then we get Zach LaVine in for 35. We're going to get DeMar DeRozan in for 35, and then we're going to get Nikola Vucevic in for 34. Vooch and Drummond basically split the center minutes this last time out. I'm going to go 14 here to Drum. Patrick Williams still maintaining about 24 minutes. So that lets me bump down DeMar a bit. And then we need Dosunmu, Kobe White. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. Dosunmu and Kobe White splitting 46 minutes. That actually makes some sense. 23 apiece to both of those guys. Doesn't feel totally correct. Rates definitely don't have to change because this is now just DeMar, Vooch, and Levine. Caruso can have whatever usage he wants after he's done. I have no concept of if Chicago is going to look any good or not, but I assume they look terrible. On the Toronto end, I'm sure they've got some nonsense going on. All right, Van Vliet is back. So we get to project this team now at full strength. Everybody is here. Assuming we get Trent off the bench. I don't agree with it, but that's what I assume. Oh, S&P. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't understand what they're doing there. He's like the natural. He's like the only guy on the team that's an actual 4. And they're like, you know what? We'll bring him off the bench. The only guy that matters for the future. It doesn't make a lick of sense. All right, we're going to go 28 minutes to Jakob Poeltl. We're going to go 36 minutes to Van Vliet. Assuming we're getting OG at the 2. And that he's going to play 34 minutes to start here. Then we get Scotty Barnes going in for 36. We're going to get Pascal Siakam in for, say, 36 for right now. Because they're just deeper. They're just deeper now. Precious is just playing less. I think we can go 18. I think that we can go something in that 18 realm for Boucher as well. Yeah, it didn't take long to get to these guys pretty easily. 30 to Gary Trent has me 4 minutes shy. I'm just going to throw those on to Jeff Doughton, and we're done. Do have to grab rates, though. A different team with Van Vliet around. Different team with Jake Puds around, too. So let's say Siakam, Van Vliet, Anunoby, Poeltl, Trent, Barnes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 guys. I'm going to say that at least 4 of them are on. No. When at least 3 of those guys are on the floor. That's what the rates I want. Because that's a big sample, except for everybody but Poeltl. But if there's 3 guys on, that's like all the starters. That's as close to a real life rotation as we're going to get. Van Vliet, 21.5% usage rate. Gary Trent is at 21. Jake Puddle in 154 minutes is at 16.5. OG, about 19. Pascal Siakam, just under 28. Scotty Barnes is at 20 on the dot. Easy. Easy stuff. I can't imagine any of these other rates are going to change all that much. I'm going to assume that they're established. And they are. Rebounding. Has Poeltl done anything different? Been a little bit bigger of a rebounder. I'm going to say that that's on purpose, and that's what happens when you're not with the Spurs any longer. Let's call that on Toronto. So, for the Raptors, with Fred VanVleet back, no priorities here. You can play Poeltl. I think you can play Anunoby or Barnes. I don't see any scenario where you want to pay $9,700 here for Fred VanVleet. Siakam, tough sell, but way more likely than VanVleet. Most likely scenario here is you're not really playing the Raptors. And somehow the Bulls look even worse than that. It's crazy to me that a $7,700 DeMar DeRozan doesn't look all that good, but this is not a great game environment. It's a 220 total. I got him projected for 37 fantasy points. He's just not on a 10-game slate. He's just not appealing. It's not a very good game. Not a very good game. So what's the best thing we've seen so far? Best things we've seen so far. I guess Kyle Kuzma on FanDuel, but who cares about FanDuel? They don't care about FanDuel. These numbers aren't correct. What is going on in this table? How did my boom rating become miscalculated? How did that become a 6? Is Gafford really at 40? He was. All right, yeah. So on DraftKings, Daniel Gafford, Cam Thomas, Cameron Johnson, they are the 3 best plays so far. Cam Thomas at $5K, $4,500 Daniel Gafford. They are the 2 best plays we've talked about. And like Cam Thomas, I feel like was probably an afterthought in my speech. Well, we're probably going to get something decent here for Denver because they are 10.5-point favorites in Houston. 232 total. Whoo, Denver's gonna put some numbers up here. Q tag on Jamal Murray. Probable tag on Aaron Gordon. Still no Zeke Naji. It's kind of crazy how much that Q tag on Jamal Murray matters. But for now, I don't really have rotation changes other than I just got to get Aaron Gordon in. So as we get Aaron Gordon in for his 30 minutes, we'll get we'll get Jeff Green in for, I don't know, his 16, I guess, 15, 13 and 13 for these 2 guys. Call it a day. Feels about right. I don't really see a mechanism to give Reggie Jackson more minutes. Yeah, that's oh no, I gotta grab rates for Aaron Gordon. Stupid Denver. At least they're I know Jamal Murray's gonna get ruled out. It's just gonna happen. Demetrius, not great. I mean, I had too much of the stars, not enough Jimmy Butler. All right, in games where their starting lineup is around, KCP, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Michael Porter Jr. I'm really curious to see how good Jokic looks in this spot. So we get Aaron Gordon's usage rate in for 19.5. We get Bruce Brown in for 17.5. Something along those lines. Jamal Murray, 26.5. ACP, 13 and change. MPJ, close to 21. And Jokic, 25.5% usage rate this season when their starting lineup is normal. He's just not that usage guy this year. He is that assist rate guy, however. That dude drops dimes like you would not believe. Just all over the place. Yeah, I mean, I knew Jimmy Butler was going to do that stupid revenge narrative nonsense last night. I knew it. I knew I would never get to him, and I knew he was going to play like that. Houston Rockets. Still no Jayshawn Tate. Jalen Green is back. They signed Willie Cauley-Stein for no reason. And then KPJ is questionable. So cool. This team's a pain in the ass today. Awesome. What happened to Jayshawn Tate? Ankle injury maintenance. Okay. I mean, KPJ has been out for like a really long time with a left foot contusion. He's not going to come back and play 30 minutes, I don't think. So let's give him like generic 24. Jalen Green had the left groin strain. I'm going to say that he's at least a little muted as well. Oh, S&P. I don't think it matters. It's Houston. It's probably Brown, but at the same time, they might give Reggie Jackson the minutes. Get some extra time alongside all the starters to see how it looks. So you already got that sample with Brown. Maybe you want to see how Reggie Jackson looks with everybody else. See if he can develop any sort of rhythm with Jokic. I mean, it's basically like a scrimmage when you play the Rockets. So, all right, Alperen Şengün. Very nervous about his minutes. We'll see where we end up there. We had a Boban sighting recently. I'm going to give 12 minutes to Usman Garuba. Feeling honorary Us. He should start biting the bloodline stuff. For anybody that watches WWE, I don't pay close attention to it, but I have kept my eye on the Sami Zayn bloodline stuff. Usman Garuba should try to get himself into the bloodline. Be an honorary Us. Look at me out here just booking wrestling while I'm talking. All right, Jabari Smith. This dude, man, is incapable of making me feel good. JJ, in no scenario has anybody ever said KCP should eat. KCP doesn't eat, man. He gets like intravenous nutrients. Kmart in for 33. Since we have no Jayshawn Tate, the rest of this should be pretty easy. Josh Christopher, Ty Washington. I guess we're not really going to any of these idiots. Got 18 to Josh Christopher. 18 to Ty Washington. 18 to Daishin Nix. I mean, none of this really matters to me. And I'm going to throw 5 minutes of spillover on Boban. This is not a team that's going to project well today. I think we could all agree on that. Yeah, Steven, it should have been, but they ruined it. If it were a good story, then Sami Zayn would be the champ right now. Like, WWE can't get it out of their own way. It's no longer, it's not like it's over now. It's just over. Yeah, exactly. Does that make Usman Garuba, I guess, is like Sami Zayn in this scenario? Willie Cauley-Stein's coming in as Cody? Is that what we're doing here? All right. Let me just quickly make a change for the starters for Houston. We're going to be here till 9:30 today. This is just great. Great stuff, folks. Porter, Green, Şengün starting. Eric Gordon off. The Rockets tanking doesn't matter. They're bad when everybody starts. They have no need to shut down Jalen Green and KPJ. This team is ass when they're out there. And they have nothing. Here's the one thing that everybody kind of needs to understand. These guys don't really need to tank all that much at this point. They're all like, Charlotte's going to tumble a little bit more now with LaMelo out, but it's not like being last or second matters. Like, these guys all have the same odds, and they're all also shit. Like, it's a 4-team race for the bottom 3 spots, but like, there's not going to be a lot of jockeying for 3 and 4. These teams have already established themselves. But you got to put the title on Zayn in Canada. It's so insane. Here's why Houston's awful and it doesn't matter. Porter, Green, Gordon, Smith, Şengün is -10 on the year in 876 possessions. They're the worst starting lineup that existed. And like Eric Gordon wasn't the reason it was a problem. They don't have to try to tank. They can keep playing everybody they want to play, and they're just going to tank naturally. Lack of talent is just going to let them tank. It's the WWE. Like, just do dumb. Just make it a 3-way at Mania if you need to. That's all you got to do. Look, money doesn't matter anymore. There's no WrestleMania buys. Put the title on Sami Zayn in Elimination Chamber. Make it a 3-way with Cody, Roman, and him at Mania, and put over whoever the hell you want after that. But you have to pay off that Bloodline storyline with Zayn getting that win. You just have to. Yeah, Larry, I remember we got the King in the Ring pay-per-view for my buddy Kyle's birthday the night that he got thrown off the cell. It was I can picture it clear as day. I can like transport myself into their like a split level house. I don't want to say basement because it wasn't a basement, but like I can picture myself watching it. Let's get these Houston rates in. I don't think anybody cares about my WWE thoughts. Obviously, AEW for life. They just have no incentive to do that kind of stuff now. They've already got all the Saudi money. They have the Peacock money, so they're not selling pay-per-views or anything. Like, all the tickets are already sold. Nobody's not going because it's a 3-way either. You just got to have Sammy win that match. It's the best story it's like the best story they've told in years. And people continue to say that it is. They're not paying it off. Sami Zayn and Owens winning the tag titles against the Usos at Mania is not a payoff to this story. It's not the same as it used to be now. So, like, you don't have to worry about business tanking. You don't have to worry about Sammy being on top for house shows and stuff. Like, it's just not the same thing anymore. So create the moment that looks awesome. Where I land. All right, Houston. Look, with everybody, if Jalen Green's back, if KPJ is back, they're not priced down. I think the only guy that you can realistically play is Tari Eason at 4K, and he will not look all that great by the time we get to the end of the day. And then for Denver, this is the one that's going to matter. This is the one we should be interested in. What does Denver look like? Not good. Look, if Murray's in, somehow Denver still doesn't even look good. Somehow Denver-Houston is not an interesting matchup. That's really annoying. Now we got a big one to talk about, folks. The Los Angeles Lakers are 8.5-point dogs in Memphis, 233 total. And what we are talking about right now is the end of the Lakers this season, because this one's done. They're not going to recover from this. They are in deep, deep caca. And if I'm the Pelicans right now, I am dancing the old jig, because this team should tumble. They are sitting in 12 now, but it would not take many losses to get down to 7. And then you can see the New Orleans Pelicans with a 7% chance of Wemby and a, 15% chance at him or Scoot. Whoo. I just don't think that they need to put Cody over Roman and make that matter. Like, I think Cody just getting the belt is fine. That's my only thing. Look, it's not like I'm going to watch any of this shit. I can't stand the WWE. It's awful. It's awful. They're not a wrestling company anymore. All right, let's project the Lakers with no LeBron, who are done now. They're just done. D'Angelo Russell is also doubtful. That doesn't help. So what do we think this team is going to be? Schroeder, Beasley, question mark, Vanderbilt, AD. So we're going to get 36 minutes out of AD. I think we're going to get like 28 out of Vandy at this point. Oh, Cody's got to go over. If you're not putting Cody over Roman at this point, then you really, really have no ending for Roman Reigns. Like, there's no... You got to get the belt off of Roman. If Cody isn't beating him here, what's the point of any WWE storyline at this point? All right, Schroeder stepping back into the starting lineup. Although, I mean, I think he was already there on Sunday, but you know what I mean. We'll go 32 there. Beasley's just going to play a bunch here. I think he's going to become very important, actually. Now, do they go Troy? Who do they start? Who's going to start for Braun? Is that going to be Troy Brown? It's either going to be Troy Brown, Rui. You can't start Austin Reeves at the 3. I don't really know who's going to start here between Troy Brown and Rui. What happens if I go 24 apiece to both of those guys? And then we get, what, Mo Bamba backup center? And then who the hell's the backup point guard now? They don't even have one, do they? Not really. Yeah, look, Braun Breaker, them naming him Braun Breaker and not something Steiner is one of the dumber things you'll ever see. But this company can't help themselves. They can't get out of their own way. There's no reason you don't call him Rex Steiner or whatever Steiner you want to call him. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And the Lakers are in deep, deep shit. I can't even project this team right now. Like, I have no concept of who they're going to give minutes to. Austin Reeves, I guess, is going to get at least a decent chunk of time. I give him 26. I give Lonnie Walker 16. That's a 9-man rotation. Oh, man. I just don't know what to do with the minutes between Troy Brown and Rui Hachimura. In that stretch here, Rui played more, but that was before the deal. I'm going to say that it's Rui. I'm going to get him up to 28. And then just 5 spillovers onto, I'll just give him the Wendy and Gabriel. Doesn't matter now. Got to grab rate for the Lakers. How is it 7:30 already? Guys, you guys got to shut me up. We're not even halfway done. We're an hour in. We're not even going to be done by 8. This is what, hit the like button. 185 people in the house. 51 likes. We got to get that up to 90. We got to get up to the halfway point here. I got to stop being so awful at my job. You can't be having me talk about wrestling at 7:30 in the morning when I'm tired, because I'm never going to be able to concentrate. You guys should know better. I blame you guys. I got to blame you guys. All right. LeBron off, Russ off. I'm just going to say Anthony Davis on. I mean, like, nothing else really matters here, right? They've barely played with LeBron and Russ off. I guess I don't have to even say AD on, because I want to know how some of these guys do without him. Yeah, Troy Brown has played the most minutes in this scenario. Yeah, Ken, you're a little late. Should have typed faster. AD with both of those guys off this season, 30% usage rate. Dennis Schroeder, with LeBron and Russ off this season. 24% usage rate. Okay. How could I have seen that one coming, S&P? How could I have seen that coming? Vanderbilt played 60 minutes. It's not like he's a usage guy anyway. So Malik Beasley has played 63 minutes with those guys off. Big time usage rate. He's going to let him shoot. I've done that before, Larry. Yeah, that's my problem, Chris. Like, I've been watching wrestling since I could remember it. I mean, I remember my dad stealing pay-per-views and stuff when I was like 7 years old. I like just barely remember the first Undertaker Survivor Series. I know where I can put myself in the lower half of my friend's house. I could put myself in the apartment I lived in with my parents. My dad had this cable box gimmick where their bedroom doors like opened up to the living room in our apartment. And we could get the picture on one TV and the audio on another. So the main living room TV would be on the pay-per-view and you could see it crystal clear, but there was no audio whatsoever. And then we would move their TV to the doorway and crank up the volume as high as we could. And you had to like stick a piece of paper behind one of the dials and shit. Oh my God, it was so janky. This would have been like 1991 or whatever. And then all the audio would play from the side of the room. Good shit. My dad's scamming. I'm going to have to text him about that today. All right, I think we're good here on rates for the Lakers since we've been here for a while. Let's go to Memphis. For Memphis, what do we got going on? Just be at full strength, please. I can't take it. No, that's the wrong team. Just no Steven Adams. Okay, so they are at full strength. That helps. That helps. Assuming we get, your standard issue Tillman Clark split. I don't know why Tillman wouldn't be in for 25 minutes, so I like that. Tyus Jones seems fine. Conchar. Oh, we got where's the name? Luke Kennard needs some playing time. David Roddy does not. Get 20 to Kennard, a very small amount to Conchar. Everybody else's minutes here look fine. Yeah, that all looks good. So for Memphis, I actually like Ja quite a bit. I mean, this is a really nice spot against the Lakers. 10,100 for Morant. I'll get with that. Looks really good. Don't have much interest in anybody else from Memphis, but I like Ja. On the Lakers, I mean, we got to go big for the Lake Show today. Vanderbilt is probably your best option. 4,100, you get that power forward center eligibility. I mean, AD clearly looks really good. I think Malik Beasley looks fantastic. Schroeder certainly very interesting. Becomes a very different play now with those guys off the floor. And then if it is Rui starting, I think you could have some interest there. But heavy amounts of Vanderbilt, Beasley, AD. Really like the Lakers. It's kind of gross. It's really kind of gross, but Lakers are big time today. Sacramento Kings, we're at the halfway point. Yay. Even though we've been going for an hour. Sacramento Kings, 2.5-point favorites in OKC, 238 total. As long as there's not any injuries here, then the Sacramento is just already done. Q tag on De'Aaron Fox, left wrist soreness. Let's put a pin in that one because that will actually create very interesting trickle downs if Fox happens to be out. But for right now, we're not making any changes to this Sacramento rotation. I guess I could give Harry B an extra minute, get the Barnacle of the Bay up to 33. But yeah, I mean, look, we know Sacramento's rotation, it's as easy as it gets. OKC, on the other hand, I assume, Oh, no, there's just no Shea already. That's kind of fun. I mean, I don't want Shea to be hurt, but we already kind of have this rotation. That's helpful. So we got Giddey in for 32 minutes. We got Dort in for 32 minutes. We've got Isaiah Joe. I mean, that dude's just going to be a pain in the ass today, right? We'll leave him in for 29. 25 for Jalen. Did not get there this last time, but I thought that was unlikely. Lindy Waters is... Oh, signed a new contract. Good for him. Kenrich is feeling different. I'm going to take those Omayuri minutes. Give those to Aaron Wiggins. None of that really matters. We're not playing any of these guys. We know the guys that we might be playing. Rates don't have to change here either. So that's actually one of the easiest games to play. I think we're going to like Oklahoma City here just because of the matchup. Yeah. Okay. So $4,400 Isaiah Joe, I think, is still going to be a thing today. I mean, the Joe game was ridiculous. One, that I messaged Adam 2 minutes beforehand, like, all I'm doing here is waiting for the Joe not starting the second half tweet. And then all of a sudden it immediately happens. To me, having the under in my prize picks and no house advantage videos, and then he just goes out and nukes the second half. I can't miss. I mean, that's him, though. It was a 2-minute gap between me messaging Adam saying that I expect Joe to not start the second half, and then the tweet coming out that they weren't starting. And then I said it on the strategy show. I clipped that video out too. But I said Lindy Waters instead of Aaron Wiggins. If I would have said Aaron Wiggins, it would have been perfect. Look, play Joe today. I assume Lou Dort will be one of my most owned guys that aren't aggressive chalk. I'm always higher on Dort. People dramatically underproject him when SGA is not out. He's the guy that gets the big bump. He's what everybody thinks Giddey is. But I like both Jalen Williams to a degree. But I think Isaiah Joe and Lou Dort are legitimate priorities. And Josh Giddey looks good. He's 7,500. I think he's just sort of like appropriately priced. And then Sacramento, they look like they always do. You can play any one of the guys that normally play plus Monk, and none of them look good on their own. That's an easy game to talk about. I mean, I think he's legitimately that good, S&P. I mean, like 68 is a little high, obviously, but for what he's doing, like it should be that high. It's not like he's creating his own threes. So when he's taking a shot, it's as good of a scenario as Isaiah Joe is going to get to take that shot. Like, I'm not trying to, like, I know I'm not explaining that to you. And I think you understand what I'm saying. I mean, he's shooting 45% from three. This is like that Joe Ingles season from a year or two ago. By the way, Philly made a huge mistake getting rid of Isaiah Joe. They just let him walk. Dude, I think they waived him, actually. Just let him shoot. Just let him shoot. Where does Darko have his 3-point shooting? Like, I think he's a legit 40% 3-point shooter plus. Yeah, Jared Vanderbilt, Isaiah Joe, Gafford, Beasley, Dort, Cam Thomas. All looking quite good. Game 7. Ooh, finally got it. All right, Isaiah Joe's 3-point rate. How real is it? Oh, it's very real. Whew, look at this. Isaiah Joe is basically like a true talent 39% 3-point shooter. That is no joke. Like, if we want to just compare him to Seth Curry's probably like a decent comp here. Look at that. Still below Seth Curry, but like we're starting to get into like real shooter territory. Beasley actually would probably be another one, but he shoots so much that his rate's probably lower. Yeah. Beasley's just got so much volume and so much like catch and shoot movement. But these guys can really shoot the shit out of the ball. Alrighty. Indiana Pacers, 7-point dogs in Dallas, 236 total. I really don't want to break down the Pacers, so please just be healthy. Fully healthy. Thank you. Really appreciate that. 34 minutes for Tyrese Halliburton. TJ McConnell in for 18. Great. Benedict Mathurin in for 27. Great. Andrew Nembhard in for 25. We'll make that 24. Buddy Hield in for 31. We'll make it 32. 18 for Chris Duarte is probably too high. We'll bring that down. Bump up Jordan Nwora. And then 28 for Nesmith. Sounds about right. 30 for Miles Turner. 18 for Daniel Tice. Looks like they went Jalen Smith for the most recent game. I'm going to stick with Tice. No other changes. Doesn't really matter for this team right now. We go to Dallas. Yeah, that is kind of weird, S&P. I just think that he thinks that those guys are fungible and that he could always find filler. And to a degree, I agree with him, but I don't know. He does have an eye for getting talent. That's for sure. Dallas. So we got Q-Tag on Maxey. And I'm going to assume that he's playing since we've just heard this chatter for so long. So let's get Maxi Kleber in for like 18 minutes. Let's figure out where those minutes are going to come from. Looks like at a minimum they're coming from Josh Green. Dwight Powell in for 24 seems fine. Christian Wood in for 22 seems fine-ish. 36 for Kyrie, 36 for Luka, 30 for Reggie Bullock, 30 for Tim Hardaway, 28 for Tim Hardaway. Justin Holiday, I think we need to get up to like 24. Now I'm 22 minutes heavy. I take out Hardy's minutes. Now I'm 9 minutes heavy. Josh Green can come down to 26. That makes me 4 minutes heavy. Who of these guys then actually matter? I guess I'm going to take Christian Wood down to 21. I'm going to take Dwight Powell down to 22. I'm going to take Reggie Bullock down to 29. I assume that there's only basically 2 rosterable players on the Mavs. So let's just look at Dallas rates in games where Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving both played. That's all I care about. Was what, 4 games? Yeah, 4 games. Kyrie usage rate 27%. Luka Doncic 4 games usage rate 34%. Good enough. Christian Wood in those 83 minutes is still letting it sail. Good for him. Everybody else is probably themselves or worse. Tim Hardaway actually still has his usage rate. Where does the usage come? I mean, they must just be so good at staggering. But none of this really makes a difference. I'm guessing none of this looks good. I just can't imagine that anything looks good here. Okay, so like, even with me heavily discounting Luka from a usage perspective, from an assist rate perspective, like he looks infinitely better than Giannis does today. 1, because of 3 extra minutes in playing time, and 2, because of a matchup against Indiana. I don't know how you play any. You can only play Luka and Kyrie for sure. And even then, that's kind of a tough sell. For the Pacers, Halliburton, Hield, Turner, and Nesmith are all guys you rotate through, no priorities. All right, so we are up to 196 people. We're at 70 likes. So we're about 30 short of the 100 mark. If you're here and you've been here for a while or not, hit the like button. Help me out here, folks. It would be very, very nice if you would just come hang out and hit the like button. That's what we want the most here in these parts, right? What can I talk about? What can I plug here? Like, there's a lot of promos in the description of this video. I'm just going to talk about them quickly because I'm looking at the description right now. You've got 50% off the NBA lineup generator, so you can get 50% off your first week there. Amazing tool. We generate all the lineups on the back end. We get rid of everything that we think sucks. You can flip through everything, sort of like a Tinder profile. If you like it, click save. If you dislike it, click discard. You could save up to 20. We've got the Odd Shopper Golf channel out now, just strictly golf content. Ben building that one out pretty big. Make sure you're checking that out. You get a 7-day trial to Bet Pro, 50% off any weekly Stokastic package. That's the one you're going to want if you're watching this show. If you want to come check out everything we have behind the paywall, projections, ownership, boom bust, all that stuff for the NBA, 50% off your first week. Click the link in the description. There's so many deals right now that we've got for you guys. If you've ever wanted to check anything out, hit up the description of this video. 3 to go. San Antonio Spurs, Utah Jazz. This should be a steaming pile of garbage too. For the Spurs, Q tag on Trey Jones, which I felt like I already saw that he was out, but no Devin Vassell, almost back. No Langford, no Roby, no Birch. I guess we're projecting Trey Jones in. That's a treat. So let's scratch this entire San Antonio rotation just to make it easier. Let's get Trey Jones in for 28 minutes. No, 26 minutes. We will have Malachi Branham in for Malachi Branham type minutes. I don't know, 28, 30, probably 30. And we'll do 33 on Keldon. We'll do 29 on Sohan. We'll do 27 on Zach Collins, 28 on Zach Collins. Assy in for 18, 16. We'll go 16. Blake Wesley, backup point guard run. Won't matter. Kieran, never happening. I can't stop talking about wrestling. That is a passion project of mine. At some point in time, I'm going to get back with the Voices of Wrestling crew and do a piece of content. I got to figure out what it's going to be. It's got to be a time where life settles down and I don't have to do as much in the DFS space, but I want to get back into wrestling a little bit and nerd out. And I've got the perfect place to do it because I think my friends along with at the Voices of Wrestling would be happy to take on a piece of content of mine. Fonte Graham, let's get him in for 21 minutes. I mean, I'm the kind of nerd, not that this will surprise you guys, but I tracked everybody in New Japan for multiple years. Every single match result, including who scored the pinfalls, and that became the data inside the Voices of Wrestling New Japan ebook. I'm a nerd, man. I need me some wrestling in life. All right, so this final 38 minutes are just going to K Debates, Diop, and buckets. This team, man. Good God. Guess I need rates if Trey Jones is playing. I assume none of this is going to matter. So let's just say on, we'll go Collins, Keldon, Trey Jones, Sohan, at least 2. And we say off with Pirtle and Vassell. Some sort of like rewatch of old WWF stuff would be fun, but boy, that would start to feel like a grind after a while. But I would love to do some sort of video. Maybe like old ECW stuff. I don't know. There's something there. Gotta talk to those guys. But this is a year plus from now in my brain. That would be something I would want to talk about that isn't DFS related. It's actually funny. It was probably like a week or two ago. It was the anniversary whenever WWE launched the network. And I had a tweet that was like, I'm going on record now that the WWE network is going to like revolutionize streaming media. And like to a degree, I think that was true. It's just going to be more and more that. They were like a year or two too early. I'd be very interested to see what would happen if they came out a little bit later than that. But I mean, it was such a great gimmick. They just fumbled the ball dramatically. Yes, absolutely. S&P. Absolutely. I love that kind of stuff. I mean, you got to keep it rooted in the sport. Like you can manufacture the storyline, so just manufacture the records to be what you want them to be. Like it's just an interesting way to create intrigue. Colin Sexton out for Utah. Jordan Clarkson out for Utah. I assume we're going to have a lot of Utah here. So we're going to get THT, and he's going to have to play a lot today, right? There's just no way around that. And then we're going to get, what, Akbaji playing 30 minutes. Clearly going to get Markkanen playing 35. Kelly Olynyk playing 29. And then Walker Kessler in for 30. Oh my God, dude! Why is Chris Dunn playing any real minutes for this team? God, Danny Ainge must love him. I guess because he went to Providence. All right, so there's at least 16 minutes for Chris Dunn. Backup center run. They went to Azubuike over Damian Jones on Saturday. They went to Damian Jones on Thursday. I don't really trust them to give either one of those guys real run. Oh, I'm aware he's on a 10-day contract. It was more like, why does this guy play? Rudy Gay needs minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they are willing to go to 11 guys. So I'm going to split, what is that, 15, 30, 45, 16, 32, 48. I might have to bump a couple of these guys up. We'll go 15 to Juan Toscano-Anderson, 15 to Rudy Gay, 15 to Fontecchio, and that still leaves me 5 minutes. Who am I under projecting? I guess I'm going to take Olynyk up to 30. Can't go higher on THT. Chris Dunn got 23. I guess we're giving Chris Dunn 20 minutes. The good news is here, I assume something can be interesting for Utah. How is it 750 already? I'm so bad at this. 220 in the room right now. Let's take off Jordan Clarkson. Let's take off Colin Sexton. Let's also, I guess, take off Mike Conley. What kind of rates do we have for this team at that point? Nickeil Alexander-Walker has played the most minutes on this team with those guys off. He's not even here. All right, so THT gets a pretty sizable usage bump. Markkanen's played and gotten quite a bit of a usage bump. Beasley, this team it's wild how different this team is at this point. Kelly Olynyk's played 99 minutes with those guys off. I'm just going to say that he's himself. THT, no real change to his assist rate. So I think that's going to be Utah. Now, as we look at the Jazz, oh boy. Yeah, it's THT season again. We're going pretty heavy on Talen Horton-Tucker. That's very true, Vic. I am having fun. Look, here's the real problem. I assume that's a rate thing that I need to fix. Yeah, okay. I've got these guys projected incorrectly. So even if I just say that those guys are off, where is this additional usage going to come from? Because right now I've got a problem that it's coming from Chris Dunn, and I can't let that happen. It can't come from Akbaji either, can it? No. All right, that doesn't create any new value. There's not a ton to love here for Utah other than THD, Kessler to a degree. Markkanen looks interesting. I think Markkanen is live to have a better day. That's for sure. But THT is the clear prize from the Jazz. There are no prizes from San Antonio. Don't play any of the Spurs. 2 games to go. Portland and Golden State. Blazers, 4-point dogs, 236 total in Golden State. What do we know for Portland? No Simons, Nurkic, Winslow, Arcidiacono, or Ibubaji. So Portland is going to look like they did for this most recent game. I'm going to stick with 37 minutes for Dame. Clearly, he's going to look good. I'm going to delete everybody that I don't feel confident about. 25 minutes to Eubanks feels fine. 19 to Trendon Watford feels fine-ish. Ooh, what I do need to do is save the file. That could have been bad. 35 minutes for Jeremy Grant seems fine. 23 for Little seems fine. 29 for Thibault. Got to go up to 30. Cam Reddish in for 32. Yes. Shaden Sharp I have in for 25. I'm going to make that 23. Who's really getting the time? Now I guess got to split 15 minutes to... I'm just going to give it to Jabari Walker, I guess. How much to change here for San Antonio? Or sorry, for Portland. Jorge in the house. What's good? What's good? God damn. All right. I didn't see that. It doesn't show up in my StreamYard. Jorge coming in on the process. Handing out presents like Santa. 50 Stokastic YouTube subscriptions. Basically, he just handed out a subscription to our YouTube channel for like 25% of the people that are watching this. Good looking out, man. This is the show to do that, because it's not like the strategy show is like probably number 2, but this isn't like giving it out on the deeper dive and live before lock where random idiots get it. This is the true people that deserve it. And it kind of shows me who's lurking around and not saying anything. I get to see all these names showing up that are actually watching this show, which is fun to see. Who's watching that I don't know is watching that got one? That's I like it. I like it a lot. All you lurkers out there, I should be able to find out if you guys haven't hit the like button. But shouts to Jorge. Good stuff. What are we doing on the Golden State side? Who are still without probably everybody, right? No Wig, no Curry, no Peyton. Guess Draymond's back. So we're going to get Draymond in for his 32 minutes. We're going to take minutes away there and there and there. Anthony Lamb is going to come down to like 16. Actually, created enough minutes already. Jordan Poole in for 33. I guess I need to make that 30. No, I'm going to leave that at 33. And I got Clay at 34. Nah, I got to go 34 to both guys. That sucks. 23 to Ty Jerome. Call it 22. DiVincenzo in for 23 or 33. I guess I'm going to make it a 34 like everybody else. Seems like those 3 guys are just playing. Looney feels fine at 25. Jermichael Green feels fine at 15. Kuminga definitely shouldn't be at 26. That needs to come down to 24. Gives me 4 minutes for Moody. Easy stuff out of Golden State. Oh, S&P. He simultaneously never enters the conversation, but is having an incredible year. But, I mean, he's having a year, man. He's having a year. He's just so bad defensively that it's impossible for him to ever lap anybody that's like decent defensively. But 66% true shooting on the diet of shots that he takes is fucking insane. There's no other way to say it. All right. Okay. Dante DiVincenzo is projecting way too well here. Dante DiVincenzo is the best play on the Warriors today. That's a thing. That's a thing. If you think that Dante DiVincenzo is playing 34 minutes, I'm going to take a minute away because like I don't want him to be a priority. Dante DiVincenzo is the best option on the Warriors today. Poole might be second. Nothing else looks good. And then on the opposite side for Portland, get yourself some 11-5 Dame. No problems there. Reddish and Thibault as value. Thibault in particular at 3,500 is interesting. Reddish is getting those minutes. No Clay? Yeah, no Clay. I can pretty much guarantee I wouldn't have a share of Klay Thompson today. He's an easy 0 for me. Final game, Minnesota at the Clippers. We're an hour and a half into this bad boy. Thank you guys for bearing with me. 225 people in the house, 125 likes. Now we got this, baby. Now we got this. Minnesota Timberwolves. Taurean Prince available. Rudy Gobert available. Q-tag on Jalen Noel. We obviously had a Naz Reid experience last time out. Correct that. So let's go ahead and get Rudy Gobert in for 32 minutes. And we'll get Naz Reid in for the backup run, 16. We're going to get Kyle Anderson, slow-mo, in for 29 minutes. And then we're going to get Mike Conley in for 31. We'll get Anthony Edwards in for 37. Yikes. And then we get Jaden McDaniels in for 30. Perfect. We get Taurean Prince in for 19 minutes, plus another 2, gets him to 21. We get Jordan McLaughlin in for some backup point guard run, get him in for 14. That will also allow us to get Nickeil Alexander-Walker in for 16. And am I missing somebody? That's 9. Austin Rivers in for 14. There we go. No gym for me today, Vic. No gym. And then rates I actually don't have to change. I think we're all good here. Looks like we're only going to be getting to Anthony Edwards anyway. Matchups against the Clippers are rarely good. Speaking of the Clippers, they are the final team to look at. Ivica Zubac's questionable. That is the only piece that actually matters here. We're going to get Zubac back in for 26 minutes. I think that we then get 22 for Mason Plumlee. Actually, it's probably going to be less than that, huh? They played 47 there, 45 there. Let's go 26, 21. We're going to have to find some minutes lurking around here. I'm going to say we get 28 out of Russ. Let's say we get 22 out of Terrence Mann, 34 out of Paul George, 28 out of Norm Powell. Let's go a little bit lighter there, 24. Eric Gordon feels better at about 18. Kawhi at 35. I actually feel like I got to make that 36, but 35 is going to have to work. Marcus Morris played 33. We're just running out of places to get minutes from these guys. Bones is done, that's for sure. Yeah, Jim is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Brian Van Vliet is not out today. That is not an alert that has happened yet. And it is not anywhere on my Twitter. So, not out. Not out. I don't know how to get Nick Batum 20 minutes here. I got to cut 14 minutes from this team. I don't see it. It's got to come from the centers then. That's going to be 24 to Zubats, 18 to Plumlee. That's still 9 high. Yeah, I understand you just got it, but unless you got it from a text message from Fred Van Vliet, it's not a real notification. Just out of curiosity, who'd you get it from? Man, where in the world am I taking 7 minutes from these guys? They should just come from Westbrook. That's the real issue here. Where do I cut 5 minutes off of this team? There's not a single obvious spot to cut them down. Take one more from Russ, get him to 27. Guess we'll take Batum down to 16, Powell down to 20, and call it. Line Star app. Yeah, okay. So you can ignore that then, buddy. That is not a real notification. If you're playing anybody from the Clippers, this should really surprise you. It's Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and no one else. If you're playing anybody from Minnesota, it's Anthony Edwards and no one else. We made it through 10 games, folks. We made it through 10 games. I don't know how. I really don't. What I do know is this. It's very easy to know it. You guys should sign up at BetMGM using the link in the description or scan that QR code that's on the screen. Get 1 free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum. You can get up to $1,000 in first bet insurance. You can use the promo code Platinum Sub. You got to be 21 and over. You got to be responsible. Make sure you're calling 1-800-GAMBLER if you have a gambling problem. But we have so many tools at Stokastic and at OddsShopper that are really going to make you a better sports bettor, whether that's video content or Bet Pro package, tailing any of our individual guys for their Discord channels. I mean, we have so much stuff going on right now. We can make you a better sports bettor for sure, and a much smarter sports bettor. It's there for you guys. BetMGM is part of that process, so go sign up, guys. Let's run some crunches. What do y'all say? Let's pop open DraftKings and FanDuel. Move you over here. Move you over here. Let's check out FanDuel Optimals. We're gonna have to blame wrestling on this one, or we would have been out of here 15 minutes ago. Look, we're fine. Look, honestly, it's a 10-game slate. Like it's not gonna be fast. All right, FanDuel Optimals. We're not too far off the path at this point. All right, 327.55. This is the optimal on FanDuel by 0.07. Damian Lillard, Dennis Schroeder, Talen Horton-Tucker, Malik Beasley, Jeremy Grant, Lauri Markkanen, Vanderbilt, Cam Johnson, Gafford. None of that's really surprising to me. I mean, we're getting it in the places where there's excessive value. So I think that All looks good. What do the power rankings look like for today? I think this is going to be really flat. Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be THT, Schroeder, and Kuzma as your top three guys, but Schroeder and THT at the top. I mean, this is a pretty gross slate. Let's be very, very, very clear here. This is a pretty disgusting slate. THT at the top, Dennis Schroeder 2. Then a pretty big fall off to just straight line. You can kind of get anybody. Kuzma, Thibault, Dort, Markkanen, Grant, Beasley, Poole, and Jalen Williams without the Y. That is just, I don't really want to do a contenders video for that. And then on DraftKings, the one that actually matters, DraftKings Optimals. We have 307.87. This is the optimal lineup by 0.66. Ooh, that's ominous. Ja Morant, who I expected to be there, but you also get the double pay up with Dame. Ja Morant, Malik Beasley, Lou Dort, Jared Vanderbilt, Daniel Gafford, Isaiah Joe, Talen Horton-Tucker, Damian Lillard. I actually love that lineup. Clearly, I liked Ja at 10-1 against the Lakers. Beasley's a great value because of no LeBron. Vanderbilt's a great value because of no LeBron. Gafford's a great value because of no Porzingis. Dort and Joe are both great values because of no SGA. Talen Horton-Tucker is a great value because of no point guards and stuff. And then Damian Lillard's Damian Lillard playing in Golden State, a team that he wants to go hard on. That's an incredible starting lineup. And then the most interesting piece of all of this, look at this 2v2 between my number one lineup and my number two lineup. You swap out Ja and Dame for Trae Young and Luka. What a ridiculous lineup. What a ridiculous lineup. And then you could do it again for lineup 3. It becomes Luka and Markkanen. Those 3 lineups are all the same, just 2v2s. But Morant, Dame, or Trae Young, Luka. Like, that's the type of... Here's the real problem in all of this. That's the type of question that we would get in chat. Like, would you rather have Morant and Dame or Trae and Luka? And it's just like, yo, they're the same thing. They're the same thing. S&P, don't be shocked there. I never get Jokic in anything when they're at full strength. He's 11-8. And based on my pay-up options, he's the worst point per dollar play out of all of them. I've got Jokic projected way lower than I think anybody else is going to have him projected. Or it's like Ja, where they're projected like Ja and Luka. I have Ja and Jokic basically the same. And Ja is $1,700 cheaper. Yeah, if Murray is out, then Jokic bumps up big time. Let's see the power rankings on DraftKings. Sorry, Steven. All right, power rankings on DK. Looks like it's going to be Jared Vanderbilt in that number 1 spot. We're going heavy Lakers at the top. Cool, I'm going to be playing DeJounte Murray with nobody else playing DeJounte Murray again. That never happens. But look, 7,900. I mean, you know, you're looking for 50 out of him. He can get there. All righty. Jared Vanderbilt 1, Talen Horton-Tucker 2, Dennis Schroeder, Malik Beasley, DeJounte Murray 3, 4, 5. Cam Thomas, Lou Dort, Isaiah Joe, Daniel Gafford, Cam Reddish. Rounding it out. I really wish I didn't get DeJounte Murray as much as I do, man. I really, really do. But it's the defensive stats. Guys, 235 people. We just went for an hour and 44 minutes. You guys hit the like button like champs. We got to get out of here. Now, I don't have any real responsibilities other than recording all of my content after this, but it was a fun show. We got off the beaten path a little bit. I'm not nearly as tired as I was an hour and 45 minutes ago, that's for sure. Good luck tonight, everybody. Make sure you're around. I'll be around all day. If you got any questions for me, hit me up on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Hit that like button on your way out the door. I think that's all I got, folks. Thank you for joining me. Good luck on everything. You know where we're going to be tomorrow. We're doing this one again. This was the process.